Hello everyone, we got our early morning trade here to recap. This one is between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Washington Capitals. We'll touch on this Dowd trade coming up right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to another end-to-end hockey trade update video. Once again, if you can, leave a subscribe down below. It really does help the channel. We're trying to hit 650 by tomorrow's trade deadline. So if you can, leave a subscribe. It really does help the channel. And also don't forget to stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time, talking about all the news that happened on trade deadline day. But in today's video, we have another trade update video. This one's not as big as some of these other ones have been yesterday, but it's still a pretty significant trade, and that's between the Capitals and the Golden Knights. The full trade is as follows. The Golden Knights acquire Dowd from the Washington Capitals for goaltending prospect Jesper Vikman, as well as the Sharks 2027 third round pick and the Knights 2029 second round pick. So this is a big deal for both sides. For the Knights, in my opinion, as a Knights fan, this is an overpayment. I like Dowd. He's a very solid fourth line center. He'll be a great upgrade on Colton Sissons as the fourth line center. He's not worth a second round pick, maybe a third round pick and a prospect, but not a second round pick. So I definitely think this is an overpayment on the Vegas Golden Knights side, but they do get a pretty decent player here. Like Dowd, he's a center. He's 35 years old, so he is up there in age. He's got this year plus another season left at $3 million AAV. Also don't like his cap hits. Like if Dowd was making like $1.52 million, I'd be a little more happier with that. But $3 million, it takes up a big chunk of the Knights' available cap space. He's a shutdown fourth line center. He could probably play on the PK, so he's a really good player to play on the defensive side of things for the Vegas Golden Knights as like the fourth line center. And like I said, he's probably an upgrade in Colton Sissons. I just don't like the price tag they give up. He so far has 4 goals and 16 points in 55 games this year. So not a bad pickup here from the Golden Knights, but just don't like that price tag. Plus you don't like that contract that he's on right now. So interesting pickup here for the Knights. For the Caps, I know they're not buyers or sellers at this point. They're just a little bit out of a playoff spot, but you make this deal all day. Sure, you lose a solid fourth line center who's actually been a pretty good player for them over the past number of seasons. But you also get a second, a third, and a goaltending prospect. The goaltending prospect is Vikman. He's 23 years old. He's in the final year of his ELC at an $858,000 AAV. He currently has an .866 save percentage and 3.41 GAA in 18 AHL games. He was a 5th round pick back in the 2020 draft of the Vegas Golden Knights. I think Vikman has the potential to eventually be like a backup. So I'm not going to say it's a guarantee that he ever amounts to very much at the NHL level, but I do think Vikman has the potential to at the very least be a third stringer, if not in time a backup. So this isn't a bad pickup here for the Caps. They also get the Sharks, that are a round pick in next year's draft. So we don't know how the Sharks will be doing. They could be a really good team at that point in time. The Caps could still be a good team, so they could use that as trade fodder. So not a bad pickup here. And then they get a second round pick 4 years down the road. So not sure where the Caps or Golden Knights will be at that point, but it is another draft pick that they can put into their draft capital. So very interesting note there. But the Caps, I think they make out pretty well in this deal. I definitely think they win it, getting a second round pick and a third round pick, plus a goaltending prospect in exchange for Dowd. So not too surprising here. And I really do like this deal for the Washington Capitals. And for the Golden Knights, they are left with very little cap space. Don't know how they're going to activate Karlsson and Howden when they're back from injured reserve. So we'll see if the Vegas Golden Knights do have any more moves in them before tomorrow's trade deadline. But very interesting trade here. A couple other quick notes just want to tell you guys really quickly here. There were 2 contract signings that happened yesterday that I never got around to touching on. I just want to really quickly touch on here in this video. So first, Sherwood, who we did mention in the past week or two, could have been flipped by the San Jose Sharks if there was not an extension in place with the San Jose Sharks come the trade deadline. Well, there was actually a contract in place as of yesterday. The Sharks signed Sherwood to a 5-year contract extension with AAV of $5.75 million. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't really like this contract, given Sherwood has only been a really solid NHL player for the past couple of seasons and doesn't have a great track record, and also he's more of a bomb six sort of forward. So I can see that. I can definitely see it's a bit of an overpayment. I think around $4 million probably been a little bit better for Sherwood, but still, 5 years. He's doing really good over the past couple of years. So in the next 2-3 years, I think he could definitely live up to that contract. Maybe in the last couple of years it doesn't work out, but I definitely think for the next at least 2, if not 3 years, that won't be a terrible deal for San Jose Sharks. So Sherwood's staying put. He signs a 5-year extension. He's not going anywhere. And then on top of that, Imagn Frank in the Washington Capitals organization has signed a contract extension. He gets a 2-year deal with AAV of $2 million. Frank started the season, I think at the AHL level, but has been called up. He's actually worked out quite well as a pretty decent bottom 6, middle 6 forward. Sort of a guy who can fit in a variety of different ways. So this isn't a bad contract in my opinion. I do think Frank going forward can be an everyday NHL player. And if he's not, and it's definitely not working out, that's not a terrible contract to bury either. So very interesting out there, but it's a 2-year deal at $2 million. I definitely do think it's a pretty decent deal for the Washington Capitals. So all in all, not a bad pickup here for the Caps to get Frank signed to a 2-year contract extension with AAV of $2 million. And on top of that, we did see 2 waiver placements yesterday, as Louis Domingue, who recently just signed with the Florida Panthers, and Tobias Bjornfot were both placed on waivers by the Florida Panthers. We should wait and see if they clear or not. I definitely think Domingue's very likely to clear and go to the AHL. Bjornfot, I could see maybe a team or two have some interest, but given the fact he hasn't really been a solid NHL player over the past couple of years, I think it could be a little more likely he clears too. And there should be a slew of waiver updates that should be announced in the next couple of hours. So when it happens in the trade video, I'll probably touch on that as well. So definitely have your thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. What is your thoughts on this trade? Is the Knights win? Do the Caps win? Or is it a win-win deal? And what are your thoughts on the 2 signings as well? That's all I'm going to talk for today. Remember, if you haven't already, subscribe down below. It really does help with the channel. We're trying to hit 650 by tomorrow. So if you can, leave a subscribe. It really does help with the channel. And on top of that, don't forget to stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time, talking about all the deals that happen tomorrow during the trade deadline. That's all I'm going to talk about in this video. God bless y'all. I'll see you all on the next one.